All right. Nice little... No, fuck. God, do it again. Sorry. All right. Coffee Breath with Matt and Seth, episode 2.
What's up, players?
What's up, guy?
Matt is on a vape nation kick right
I
now.
am vaping my balls off.
And why is that, Matt?
Well, there was an incident this morning. I'm going to post the art as the episode art.
Pretty good.
I was smoking my morning cigarette, as I do, and we've had many warnings about this, but I just didn't give a shit. And,
breaking the law.
And my upstairs neighbor took a very unflattering picture of me in my little skivvies, my orange Hurley underwear, smoking a cig.
Through the cracks.
Through the cracks of the floorboards and sent it to the leasing manager, who sent it back to me. So I'm just looking at a picture of myself in my underwear with my bulge out, my big balls and dick out. No, it was all tiny. Tiny, just a little little sack of grapes. And they were like, we're fining you $100 so you can't even smoke on your own back patio, even though Trump is president now and I should be able to do what I want. No, anyway, there's a tobacco-free community, so I stopped smoking when I walk around. But now, apparently, I can't even smoke on my back patio. And I get it. There's like woods back there, but it's like I put the cigarette out in an almost empty beer can with a little beer at the bottom. So it's like, psst, it goes out right away.
Yeah, and your OCD kicks in, so there's
Right.
not...
I don't want to burn anything down.
That's right.
So anyway, I can't smoke cigarettes on my own home anymore. I have to walk out to the street with that hobo guy or like my car.
Got to share a cig with homeboy.
Yeah, so whatever. Anyway.
But now
I'm forced to use this vape, and I kind of like it.
it's not bad. It kind of tastes like coffee, tobacco. Do you inhale it all the way?
Yeah, just like a cigarette.
Okay. Well, this is a new you now.
New year, new me, new president. Finally.
Yeah, about fucking time. But you know what? I'm glad. Going back to the vape thing real quick, but I'm glad because today you went to the gym. You found things to do.
True.
You weren't smoking. It's a healthier new 42 in the blue shirt, Matt.
Yeah, you're right. I did want to quit smoking, and now I have to smoke less. So I think this is good. I went to the gym tonight because I couldn't sit and smoke my life away, and it is a waste of time. And I do think of like David Cassidy, the singer of the Partridge Family, like drank himself to death, and on his deathbed he was like, "I wasted so much time," and it's like haunting to think your time just wasted. Just
How old was he?
there. Young, like in his late 50s, early 60s, just drank like a motherfucker, and just. Same with Johnny Carson. Like he's like, these damn Pall Malls are gonna kill me. Hey, these Pall Malls are killing me. Yes, sir. And they did. Yeah, it's like emphysema. I think of all that shit. Like not being able to breathe scares me. Like,
That is scary.
which is weird because I'm super clean freak, OCD neat freak. I like everything tidied up. I got a tidy new haircut. Thank you,
Yeah,
Seth.
you're welcome.
I was like, we shouldn't film, but then I'm like, everybody has to see how fucking good we look.
Well, and Matt's hairdo is looking pretty good.
You did a real good job. I'm gonna
Thanks,
show
man.
the people at home.
Yeah, give him a little
Give 'em
turn.
a little-
Yeah,
little
that's
look.
good.
Ladies.
Hello, ladies.
You like a guy with a haircut?
That's him.
I didn't do it myself this time. I usually cut my own hair, but my friend did it for me.
Well, I've heard you cough before after smoking, and I'm glad that this. There's part of me who was like, yes, this sucks, and I like to go out there and enjoy, a nice drink, a coffee, and even the occasional smoke with you as well. But again, you're at an age now where it needs to be cut back for your health, for your mind, for your body, and your soul. So it's a blessing in disguise, I think.
You're right.
And
I need to look at it that way, and remember that I'm not perfect, and that I need to change. I'm 42. I need to grow up.
Yeah.
And a lot of people in this country need to grow up about this election because I called it. I didn't say I liked it, but I called it. I didn't vote this time. Last time I voted for Biden, I voted for Obama twice. I did not vote for Trump in 2016 or 2020. I didn't vote for him this time, but it's like we were talking about this. I have all these friends that are like actually shocked. I'm like, have you talked to anyone? Like,
right.
You could feel it. Like, again, like, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of in The Dark Knight Rises, and Kamala's like Batman, right? Kind of like, hear me out, rich and like kind of the status quo thing. And then Trump is like Bane, and then Alfred's like, you know what I see? I see the power of belief.
That's pretty good, Alfred.
Yeah, thank you. He believes it. Whether he's right or wrong, he believes his message, and you feel that. Like whether he's a good actor, maybe he doesn't, but he pretends to believe it on a level where it's like, wow, he actually feels like he means. Even when he's talking shit about Haitians and shit, he believes that shit, or at least he's good at that, pretending he does. So it's just felt so obvious, and it's like, oh, we ran a middle of the road Democrat lady that's bought by corporate donors and owned by the DNC. How did she lose? It's like it was the same as Hillary, just not a white lady, but a middle of the road, highly educated elitist that seems like that lives in a really nice neighborhood that makes a lot of money, that's got a dumb husband, and like how did you not see this coming? It's like the most obvious. Like she's bought and paid for. She had no different policies really than Biden. She was like, even on The View, she's like, I can't think of anything I would have done different that I differ with him on. It's like, say he's old and shitty and I'm not, and I'm competent and I will, do these things he didn't do on the border but I think people didn't believe her because like he had 4 years to say something.
And she would repeat the same thing over and over again. It was like you had no clear thought of your own. And it was just kind of disturbing to see of like people getting behind this woman that really didn't have any views or any right way of like leading her. She was just like, I'm just following what Biden did and what's been told to me, and like that. And she avoided all questions, and she didn't do interviews because she's like, I'm a retard.
Well, I wouldn't.
She's pretty.
We're
dumb.
At 7:36. I'll just timestamp that. I don't think I think she's very smart, but people that are too smart, they think about the question too much, and they try to. Here's the thing: I think she's very smart, so smart that she hired all these analysts and people that are like, say it this way, but not like that too much, and then then it doesn't sound like it's her answer. Like, because Trump, I don't think he listens to advisors. He's like, I'm just going to say what I want,
which is pretty baller.
They just hold their breath and hyperventilate or whatever. And then she listens to all her advisors too much. So then you got 10 people in your ear telling you this perfectly crafted answer that's not too perfect, but not too much this way, but not too much that way. And it's like people know you're just a political operative that's completely managed by a team, and they don't like that. And Trump definitely doesn't seem managed by anybody. So that's my read on it. I'm no political junkie, but I listen to the breaking points every day, and I try to listen to new stuff. But it's like, I don't know. It just seemed obvious, right? We were joking about it, but like it seems obvious, right? Inevitable with Trump, because like everything was bad. 2 wars, the economy, inflation, and I go, no, it's not our fault, but kind of you went along with it. The vaccine mandates, the culture stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, where do we stop? Like, I mean, there's so many things you could be like, this is all upsetting normal people, or they're just like, I don't like the direction this is going. Everything's expensive. All these wars seem to never go on. Biden hasn't said a word in years, hasn't done an interview. I mean, it's like we haven't had a president. So it's like, what did you expect with this record of yours?
That's true.
Already, yeah.
Well, also, there was, I think the division too between, is like everybody was voting for her because it wasn't Trump. It's like, I will vote for anybody else, dumb, smart, black, white, woman, whatever. And it'd be like, you know what? At least it's not Trump. And so they went that way, and it's like, look what happened. It's the same thing with Hillary.
And they did that. Well, they did that with Biden. Like, oh, I'm going for Biden because he's not Trump. And then everything was just kind of, just like Biden, everything was just kind of flatlined. Just kind of like, the economy's like, I guess, they say the economy's great, but everyone I know has more than one job. And they're like, unemployment's low. It's like, yeah, you dipshits, because everybody's got 3 fucking jobs because they can't make rent. That's why unemployment's so low. Everybody needs to have 3 jobs.
That's very true.
Anyway, I don't know. That's just but they're like, the stock market's through the roof. It's like, oh, great. So rich people are getting richer. But guess what? I'm not in the stock market. Most lower to middle class people aren't in the stock market. So what are you talking about? I don't give a shit if the stock market's good. How does that reflect on my life?
Right. Well, it's good to vent this out, because people are being dumb on the internet and the socials, and it's disturbing to see, because it's like, it just makes you realize how just mindless people are, and how offended they are, and how weak and sad. And it sucks. Go ahead.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm trying to be better about that. Yeah, and then like all my friends that are bitchy online, it's like, When Trump was president, you had money in your pocket. You didn't care. I never heard you complaining about culture. You had good jobs, no wars. You had a good life. And now they're acting like it was the worst time. It's like, I never heard any of my friends that couldn't get an abortion. At least at that time. I know it's changed now, but it's like, I just remember it was fine. Actually, it was great years. And it's not like that's because of Trump. It might be incidental. And I'm not saying he did it, but I'm just saying while he was president, X, Y, and Z was good for me. And this is just anecdotal. I'm not saying that other people... And, and then you do hear things about, ladies can't get abortions and die in the car. That's fucked up. And that, I don't agree with him at all. And I think he really needs to be because I think he's socially liberal. He was a Democrat for most of his life. So I think he's the only guy that can be I'm a Republican. You know what? We need to let women's rights. We need to do this. And again, if the tea leaves show up enough and the polls goes our way, he will be look. And then they'll get mad at him, but they won't abandon him because he can do anything. And they'll just be he's my guy. So I don't know. I feel like he can
Yeah.
But then JD Vance, that eyeline wearing weirdo, he looks like a goth kid.
He looks
does he
like
wear eyeliner? He always looks like he's in a production of Cats or something.
He looks like a Furby or
yeah, he does look like a Furby with the eyes.
Yeah, he has a weird head.
Yeah, he's a weird guy.
And both parties are evil. It's like what I said the other day. It's do you want to be fucked by a donkey or an elephant?
Right.
And that's kind of
I feel like Republicans just got honest about the the reproductive rights thing. They could win every election if they were just women, you can get an abortion up until 6 months, 8, whatever. Just roll back to that status quo. And I feel like they would, if the economy's on fire and ladies can have abortions, I feel like, and immigration is whatever. I think those are the big thing that they hammered him on was, his xenophobia, which I think he's just I like legal immigrants, just the illegal is not illegal. Anything shouldn't be seen as a good thing. And then I really do think if he just fucking, move to the middle with ladies' rights, just like Kamala would, I feel steal that position and be look, then you cover everything. Then nobody can say shit. Then it's
Moral of the story, have safe sex. Okay?
Or yeah, like you said, just have your guy wear a condom. I wear a condom every time. Just wrap it up. I can't get an abortion. Well, tell your dumb boyfriend to put a condom on.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
That's on us. We should just wear condoms.
You and I are sitting
I've
here.
I've never had to pay for an abortion. You know why? Because I wrap it up every time and I never have much sex.
You know what that's called? Safe sex and being smart.
Yeah.
Look, Callie Mayer.
Oh, hey.
Oh, wow. Join the party, Callie.
This is Callie, my cat.
Yeah. How old is Callie?
Callie's 15.
Look.
I got her in Denton.
She did. Look.
Uh-oh.
She's sweet sometimes, but you touch her back.
She wants attention. Then when she gets it, she's like, "Why you give me attention?" Just like every lady. Oh my god! This guy tried to talk to me at a bar.
Classic.
And
pussy.
I was like, "What?" It's yeah. And then he talked like Nick Schwartz, and he's like Nick Schwartz in that joke. He's I hate when girls you ask them something banal and they act like it's the most ridiculous thing. You're like, "Hey, how's your night going?" They're like, "Fine." I'm trying to flirt with. I'm not an ass. What do you think? I got to say something.
It's like the girl at the gym the other day when I was just asking her about the machine that was next to her because I had a little sweat on it.
Yeah, I had a little sweat on it. I saw her again tonight, dude.
Oh,
she
really?
gave me a look. I'm like, what? You might have been on. Say what happened. It was very funny.
So Matt and I were doing a good workout.
Yeah,
at,
like straight guys do, going to the gym together.
Yeah,
helping each other, spotting each other.
Yeah, watching each other's form and glutes. So yeah, she was next to doing the cooter workout. This thing.
As you do. Yeah,
and,
she's doing the cooter workout, which you never talk to a woman doing.
Yeah, I know. But there was a back machine that Matt and I were getting on for back extensions.
Yeah, right next to her.
Yeah. Help out the lumbar. And it had a little sweat on it. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to be polite and say, hey, are you on this one? Because people superset. They go back and forth, whatever.
Sure.
And I was like, hey. And she has her AirPod in or whatever. And...
she's like, what?
Yeah. And I was just like, hey, are you using this one? No, I'm on this one. And I was like, okay. I was just asking.
She's more like, No, I'm on this one.
Yeah, that was more like
yeah. Well, no, same vibe. Sorry.
Yeah, but no, and then I was just
like you're a fucking idiot for even asking. It's like, which I kind of thought, like, yeah, clearly she's on that machine.
Even Matt was just like, "Why'd you say that?" I was like, "I was just trying to be polite, man." And
yeah, because it did have a little sweat residue, so you thought maybe she's like a selfish person.
Yeah,
like most women, and just using two machines. I do that too because like a lot of guys are like, hey, I'm using that. I'm like, no, you're not. You're on the neck. You're not using it.
It's just I wasn't trying to flirt. Wasn't trying to hit on her. Not even trying to start a conversation. Just be like, hey, you on this?
No. I wanted to tell him, be like, listen, honey, I've known him for a long time, and he could do much better than you. So you're lucky he's even talking to you. Okay, thank you. Just answer the question. I didn't ask for the extra fucking attitude. Okay, I didn't ask for a side of attitude.
I really wanted to go off on her. I wanted to be like, oh, fuck me then, right?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I'm sorry I interrupted you and was being polite.
Yeah, the machine next to you is sweaty. You are right next to there. It's possible you're on this machine. Not every guy that's talking is trying to fuck you. I'm trying to get information, you dumb coos. No, but Callie's one of the real ones. Callie. Mm-hmm. She gets it.
She doesn't.
She's one of the. She knows her. She knows her place. She fights back. Never.
That pussy bites back.
This pussy got some.
This episode should be called Political Breath with Matt and Seth because we went down a rabbit hole, but that's okay. We crawled out. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Because I don't really care about I don't. Should either. I care more? Like no. We said, everything's gonna be the same. The Democrats are gonna fight hard and check Trump. They're gonna get sick of him in 2 years, and here I'm gonna make another prediction. They're gonna get sick of him, and like everything always. In the midterms, they're going to be like, these guys stink, and then get the same people before they just forgot that they hated 2 years ago, and they're going to come back. And Callie's bored. She's yawning. I think. But yeah, so it's just like nothing's going to. We have the system of checks and balances. It will be fine. They're like, he doesn't have the generals that kept him in check this time. He's just going to be like the Tasmanian devil on coke. And it's like, really? I mean, he's lazy. What's he really going to? He's going to golf most of it. Like, he's like every other president. Meet the new boss, same as the old boss.
McDonald's, self-tan.
Right. Probably get a heart attack or die, and then they would have to act sad, but literally they'd be so happy.
Yeah.
And it's like... Also, I have this theory that Trump's ego is so big that being president, he will have to do a good job to make himself feel good, so we will benefit just because he's a narcissist, and he's like, I have to do great. I have to do a best job, and I feel like he's not doing it for us, but he will just to say he did a good job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a good
It's like
point,
when
though.
your dad takes you to Disneyland about his ego, they could afford to do that, but you get to go to Disneyland, but he's like, I took my kids to Disneyland this year.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that, like, you're altruistic by accident. Like, he really doesn't give a shit about us, but he's like, I want to be remembered as a great president for me, so I'm going to do all the shit I don't know.
I think what's going to happen is that everything, like gas prices will go down a little bit.
The vapors got me. I got the vapors. Gas prices are already down. It's like $2.60.
Well, I see things going back to the way they were. It'd be like, oh, look what I did. And it's like, well, you just brought it back to where it was.
Well, I think also world leaders are scared of him because they never know he's going to love him or hate him one day. So they're like on their toes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like kind of genius, like, because he's so dumb, but like he's so crazy. They're like, I don't know what this guy's going to do, but they kind of know what Kamala's going to do.
And they knew what Biden was going to do. He's like, he's going to stumble and he's going to.
She goes by the norms, right? Yeah.
But I like going back to the safe sex thing. Just because I
put a condom on, and you don't even have sex anymore. But that's your choice.
Yeah,
you're a voluntary celibate. I'm an involuntary celibate. See, that's the difference. You could have sex and you choose not to. I can't, and I want to.
But think about this: all of our friends that are our close friends, especially the ones that are in their 40s, have never gotten a girl pregnant. We're talking about Wes, Teabag, Jared,
that's
Justice,
true.
Hoot. All of them have never gotten a girl pregnant, and
I've had to pay for an abortion.
Nope. And I've had.
Well, it's because we're losers. We don't fuck much, but when we do, we wrap it up, right?
Right, and so I've had girlfriends 4 years, 3 years, 2 years, stuff like that, and everything in between. And guess what? Most of the time, I wore a condom. Even with girls that I was with for 3 years,
even if they were on birth control? Or no? If they're on birth control, you wouldn't, right?
One was on birth control, and I still wore a condom.
Oh, wow.
Because I was still just so paranoid, and so was she.
Yeah.
Because we're like-minded, smart individuals that went to a college.
Well, then why she could have birth control then? If you're
But the thing is, we were so careful because we were like, nope, not doing it. But these people that, like, I see these guys who are just like, that fuck willy-nilly without a condom. I'm like,
it's crazy. It's like insane. They're like, it feels better. It's like, does HPV and a kid feel better? Like, what are you, fucking high? Like, it feels better. I'm like, well, it feels better to smoke on my patio, but I'm going to get fined. And I...
That's a great analogy.
It's exactly the same.
Yep.
But it's like, I don't want to... It is, kind of. I mean, it's like, look, you're going to suffer the consequences, or you could just change and adapt. And again, I've only fucked one girl without a condom, and it was good, but not getting a baby and a disease good. It was like just a marginally better.
Right.
You know?
But
I don't know.
It's I'm glad that we've gone this long without having kids. And for those that just...
do you think it's good or what do you think? I don't know.
I think it's great.
I guess I'd want kids, but I never had anyone that wanted with me.
I've never been that guy.
You don't want kids, right?
No.
I guess I don't really, because I would have tried harder.
Did you ever, as a kid or even growing up, even in your early 20s or late teens, and be like, you know what? I want to be a father. I just really want to be a dad. Because there's guys out there that are like, I just want to be a dad. I want to be the best dad.
Yeah, they're like Mormons.
Yeah, they're weirdos.
Christians, yeah.
Yeah.
They love it.
I'm not on that wavelength.
They're like, oh, babies. Yeah. Like, they're thinking like, oh, your body's so hot because it's going to make a baby boy. Yeah, that's weird. Like, but no, they're very,
And I've always been so untrustworthy of just people and women that I was just like, no.
People, women people. No, okay, but you're not, you.
And I don't want a little ginger fuck running around. Like, this world sucks. It's weird. It's crazy. It's hard enough for you and I.
Just a little like, ginger fuck? I thought you said gender fuck. I was like, what's that? Fine.
But yeah. I've never.
But the world's also better than it's ever been. So that argument is kind of like, I can't raise a kid in this world with Wi-Fi and Hot Pockets everywhere. It's like, well, you could. I mean.
I just don't want the extra expense. I don't want the responsibility. Having a dog for 12 years that was a Rottweiler that was just like a big presence where I'm like, oh, I have to worry about it. I feed it and walk it and blah, blah, blah. And it's got sick. Now I have to take it. Thousands of dollars. Multiply that by like however much. And that's a kid.
Yeah. And having a kid's almost as hard as having a dog for 12 years. I mean, close. Not as hard. But,
and people, before you start fucking without a condom, have a dog. Get a dog. Get a big dog.
Get a little dog, big dog.
Yeah. Go change, day trading. Got a little dog. Got a little dog. But yeah, have an animal.
I think most couples do that, right? They get the dog to see if they can.
I think people rush into it way too fast. A lot of people fucking. I don't think they think about the consequences. They're so worried about getting their dick wet and their pussy filled that it's like, oh, let's just do this, and they're not thinking about, hey, you know what? This might have repercussions and consequences.
I've had a couple friends that had kids, mistake kids, and it definitely was like they're kind of like, yeah, no, I'm really happy to have them. Of course, I love them, but
how do you think your parents felt when they had twins?
It's a lot, yeah, terrified. Well, because they wanted one, and my grandma was like, I have a feeling you're gonna have twins, and my mom got the ultrasound, and my grandma's right, and then my mom came home and didn't say anything about the ultrasound. My grandma was like, you're having twins, and she's like, why did you yes, I'm having twins. But they got one of each, boy and a girl, and happy birthday to my sister.
Did you call her?
We texted. I know we should have called, but it's like when you have a twin, you know them. You've been
you're on the wavelength of the same.
Right, there's nothing she's gonna say I don't know. There's nothing I'm gonna like. We know each other better than you've spent every minute with this person for most of your life. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I should have called. I'll call her. I'm sure.
How close are y'all?
Yeah, pretty close. Yeah, I mean, we talk probably a couple times a month, and
I don't think I've ever seen a picture of her.
She's great. No, and she got a baby now, and the baby remembers me, which is really nice. And
Unky Matt,
the fun uncle, yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Which is really what I've always. I mean, look at this place. I have fun uncle. This is my destiny to be the fun uncle that gives you like a candy bar that's too big, and I'm like, shit, that was fine, you know, and maybe get some present that's too expensive. I'm gonna get her some like Jordans, and they're gonna be like, stop, and I'm like, come on, they're cool. But
get her a tracksuit, matching tracksuits.
That'd be cool. Yeah, Yeah, I do feel like maybe I'm missing out, but you can't force someone to marry you and have kids with you. And it's like I don't even. I've never even had anyone I said I love to. I've never even had a live-in girlfriend. Like I've never even lived with a girl for.
That's a different level.
Right.
That was
some heavy dope.
Yeah, that was the deciding factor of a lot of my relationships. It was like, oh God, we live together. I see you constantly. Like your shit's my shit. Like,
but then when you live with a dude, I could live with guys forever. I guess because it's not like you're not having sex.
We're not fucking.
Yet. No.
well, the
eyebrows. No, but yeah. It's not an emotional like. It's like whatever.
You're not sharing a bed. You know, it's like we have separate bathrooms.
Right.
You know, it's like imagine all that shit on top of each other, and then like her family is now your family, and like all the issues at her work is your issues now, vice versa, and it's like. And I get that it's nice to have, don't get me wrong, but there's also a point where it's just like, I just want to be relaxed. I don't want any responsibilities. I like doing me, you know, in more ways than one. But there's I don't know, people rush into things with kids and wives.
And we don't have jobs that we have a ton of extra money, right, that to throw around. So.
Yeah, I have enough for me, and I like that, you know?
Like and you know.
And I work hard enough for me.
And I feel like I may be one of those guys that has a kid at 50 or something, but I don't know. I mean, or the stepdad just slide into a pre-made model, you know, just.
I have two questions.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think people that have been vaccinated are going to have weirder kids? Or is that just like...
Yes. No.
You think?
I worry about, like, even my sister, I worry about, like, how many vaccines, because they're in San Francisco, I'm like, what are they giving, like, 60 vaccines? Like, I worry about that because this is a doctor. They know what they're doing. I'm not a doctor, so they just you just blindly trust. And it's like, why are we giving them? I never understand why they gave baby girls HPV vaccines. They're like, because she's going to grow up to be a slut, and you know she's going to get HPV. It's like, what? Like that one, I was like, okay, I don't think my 2-year-old needs an HPV vaccine. How about I talk to her about it when she's old enough and say, make sure a guy wears a condom. Again, no vaccine, problem solved. And they pump full of these vaccines that have aluminum in and God knows what, and. Again, and then I hear this thing, I was on NPR, which I used to like, but they were like, and then Trump hired RFK, who is a known conspiracy theorist. It's like, what, because he wants to get fluoride out of the water and not give you 30 vaccine shots before you're 3 months old?
Good for him.
Yeah, what a kook. And even in his own words, he's like, I'm not against vaccines. It's just not all of them. I'm just like, we should do a double-blind study for these, which we never do, and then do a big sample size and test this stuff. Like, just stop having blind faith. That's what science is, you morons. And it's like, I hate when they just reduce someone to like, oh, he's a conspiracy theorist. It's like, no, he doesn't trust pharmaceutical companies like you used to not fucking 2 years ago or whatever, 5 years ago when you used to be skeptical of these billion-dollar soulless corporations. And now suddenly they're the best. Just like Kamala. Again, she's just like the Pfizer. They stunk their whole life and suddenly they're great because we need them for democracy. Like, this is bullshit. Like,
yeah,
I have you on tape 5 years ago being like, oh, pharmaceutical companies don't care about people and they're unregulated. You can't sue them. That seems like a big fucking problem.
Get him, Matt. Get him.
Yeah, go off, King.
Yeah.
No, and I got vaccinated. Shame on me. Because I wanted to see my grandma. They used emotion. Like, don't you want to see, do you hate grandma? I'm like, no, I love grandma. They're like, I'm going to get this shot at you in a fucking gym. And, you know, I did that and the booster, and that's it, folks. I'm not getting any myocarditis. I'm like, look, fool me once.
Yeah.
You're a pureblood, right?
Pure.
Wow.
That's me, bro. I got that good sperm, lady.
Oh, it sounds a little weird, pureblood. I don't mean like a race thing, or I just mean not vaccinated. Like,
it's because I'm a ginger and have a red
right, you're like the whitest
blue
guy.
eyes and, you know, just...
You set off the lunk alarm at Planet Fitness every time. You just walk in and it knows. It's like, get out of here, you lunk. Throwing weights around, trying to better yourself.
They're judging.
Oh, they're judging.
They are.
I saw a guy. I was at Planet Fitness tonight. I saw a guy that looked just like the lunk alarm sign. They were like, Ricky. I was like, I'd be die if his name was Richard or Ricky. But like, there's this guy that was ripped, cut off, tank top, tats, huge gallon of water, kind of throwing weights around. I'm like, the lunk alarm's gonna go off. You're gonna set off the lunk alarm, Ricky. Ricky, don't set off the lunk alarm. I'm trying to get a workout, you know, have a good time. You keep setting off the lunk alarm.
Cocksucker.
We've been watching a lot of
Trailer
Park Boys. Bubbles voice comes out a lot.
Look at us. I'm 39, you're 42, and we're sitting here watching Trailer Park Boys.
Playing Mario chess. Living our best lives. Got Buddhas everywhere. Got a little Superman without a cape. I got a 15-year-old cat.
Got a lava lamp.
I don't like when girls are like, if you have a cat, don't even fucking talk to me. I'm like, what? It's a good pet. I like having...
Cats are great.
What? I'm an asshole for taking this stray cat. What a fucking pussy. Like, it doesn't mean I'm like... I feel like if you own a cat, they're like, are you like, do you like women? It's like, yeah, I like cat. Like, cats are... What? I have to have a dog, like, to show I'm a man? I should be more of a man if I drive a little bitch car and have a cat. It's like, I'm more secure.
That's true.
And cats rule. Like, Callie is awesome. But, yeah, she heard her name. She's great. I don't have to, like, take her out to shit. She can just shit in my room in a box that I clean. It's not too stinky, you know, and she pukes sometimes, so I just wipe that up, and she's great. I mean,
yeah.
She hates me, but... Callie, you want to say something to Mike? Callie.
Callie meow.
Callie. Say something in the mic.
Callie meow.
Callie.
Come on, Callie. All right.
Say something.
She's like, get the fuck off
Get me
Claire.
on. I don't want to be on this podcast.
I'm going to go shit on your pillow.
I don't want to be affiliated with you guys.
Y'all are racist and jerks and don't like women.
We're not
and democracy.
racist. We have one. All right, look. We have a black friend that we talked to tonight. And we're good friends. It's not... We would be friends if he was white, black, purple... Any color. I don't care. He's my friend.
We're not racist.
I don't see race. I didn't even know he was black until someone told me. I was like, really? I didn't know. I didn't ask. Didn't tell. He's just a good guy and he's my friend and people act like that. Yeah, that's how it should
All
be.
my friends in high school were black.
You were pretty cool, I guess.
I played basketball.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I was able to basketball, right? You could dunk?
I could dunk. I ran track.
You're like that rare unicorn of white guy that's like...
I think gingers and black people need to get along better, you know, because we both...
They don't?
Well, I think they should be, you know, gingers, and they're basically whoever gave us the
redheads
same name.
And
yeah.
Right.
If you rearrange the word ginger, what do you get? Exactly. Yeah, and so somebody out there...
Don't rearrange the word.
But no, that's true.
I know they're the same letters. Why'd you say that? That sounds
no.
Weird. Now I'm spelling it in my head, and maybe you're thinking of a different word.
Think about this.
Those letters.
Some person said, "You know what? They're judging us on the color." I got judged so hard on the color of my skin because I was.
And if you rearrange the word, you know, it's like a black guy. Yeah, but that's a slur.
Ginger's a slur.
It is?
Yeah.
It's not as bad, though. We're saying ginger.
But the thing is...
I'm not going to rearrange letters and say the other word.
Back in the day, gingers, redheads, if you came out a ginger redhead... This is back in the day. And I have a book about this, okay? It's a big book of redheads, okay?
Right, okay.
And it talks about, like...
It's just like Roots, yeah.
They were saw as witches. There were people that were... Okay. Gingers were killed. And, dude, I am so serious. And you're laughing... And you're judging.
They were killed for being redheaded?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess you do have a lot in common with black dude.
They saw the color of the skin. They're like, nope, this is a white ginger, fuck face, kill him.
I never knew that if you arrange the letters, it spells a racial slur. That's weird.
Someone gave us the same fucking name and just rearranged it. You know what? It's like, call them this and call them that. And it's like, it's the same letters. Perfect.
Just jumble them up a little, and one's going to be way more offensive and problematic. And the other one, you're just going to say to the guy's face.
And the thing is, too, gingers do get pissed off when other people call them gingers. Because
that's your word.
Right. Exactly.
Like, I can't say that. Like, I can say it to you, like,
right.
What's up, ginger?
Right.
What's up, my ginger? And you're like, well, we're...
Not a hard ER.
He knows me, yeah,
you know?
ginger.
Yeah. And so that's...
But if someone else is like, look at this ginger idiot, you're like, what'd you just say to me?
Right.
Yeah, it is kind of a dig,
and you know what happened, too, is like...
Is redhead okay?
Yeah, that's fine. When growing up, people, like, all my black friends would be like, man, you're really white. And I'd be like, oh, you're really black. And they'd be like, that's right. I'll go, you want to play basketball? Like, let's go. And we were best friends. You
wouldn't say that to them. You're really black?
Well, they would go, look how white your legs are.
Oh.
And I go, well, you're really black. Because if you're basing me on, like, how white...
But they wouldn't get pissed off?
No, because we're looking at each other and be like...
you're like, you are really white.
Like, what's up, player? Like, it's like, and they'd be like, man, you got some white legs. I'd be like, you have some really black legs. And they'd be like, All right, that's right. And they'll be like, you want to listen to DMX in my PT Cruiser? Yeah, let's go.
Well, I think because your interest and your demographic align, you don't want kids. You're fit and masculine and covered in tats and you buzzed head, like no bullshit kind of guy. And I think I said this to you before. I feel like black dudes are cool and a lot of them are tough and no bullshit people. And then you see a guy like you're like. Because most white guys, I think they're like, I could kick his ass. Fuck that guy. He's a pussy. But then they see you and you're like, I have to like respect this guy because he's huge. Yeah, but like to get respect as a white dude from black dudes, you know, it's like you got to be ripped or make good money or be cool or just like get bitches. Like you have to have something that's like, why are you not a pussy?
The thing is,
because I think most white guys are pussies, you know. But
a lot of them are. Yes.
Yeah. So you got to differentiate yourself. Like I'm not like
every time I see. And I'm around a black guy, we give each other a nod. Like today at work.
That's because you're huge.
This
tatted up,
this bald black dude with a beard came in, and I saw him. And we looked at each other at the same time. We just go, and it was just like this respect of like, "What's up, player?" And because me growing up, like that's all I looked
was the respect of strangers that were not white.
And I was just like, cool. I liked and I dug and I was into more black culture. If it was like the hip hop and then like the sports and everything like that, that culture of that look of just like, man, there's something about that I related to more than white people.
Yeah, they were the coolest guys. They had the coolest music.
Yeah, and that's all I hung out with my whole life.
And like basketball, you like basketball, like it's cool. Yeah. Like that was that thing of like, when I was in grade school, I was like, God, they're so cool. Why am I such a nerd? Why can't I be cool? Because I had glasses and like, hey, and just there's something about, it is culture. Like I remember like I was in 5th grade and this kid left his jacket and they're like, go give him his jacket back. And I knew who he was. He was like a cool black dude. He's really cool. And I was like, okay, I've never met him. I was like, oh, hey, man, sorry, bro. You left your jacket in the hall. I just wanted to bring it back to you because it's cold out. And he was like, my man, come here, give me, and like he dabbed me up, gave me a half hug. He's like, thank, dude, I've been looking for that. I was like, yeah, man, it's like cold out. He was like, you're real, you're good, dude, you know. And it made me feel like I am a good G, I am a cool guy. Like, but I felt like, oh, this feels cool. I feel like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not a nerd. Like this guy, like gave me a hug, like he shook my hand, like he was like he didn't just take it, like, hey, thanks. He was like, oh man. That's awesome. Like, and I, you know what I mean? I was just like, you should have your jacket, you know, like, I don't know. And it felt very cool. And I was like, maybe and then, you know.
So I grew up in a Christian school. And one of those schools that I went to was like very kind of like wealthy Christian school. The only reason I went there was because my mom taught there, not because we had money or anything like that. But I would invite. Clear. Right. Well, yeah. But there's my black friends, they would come over. We would have a good time. We kept it real, everything, listen to music, just good times. And then my rich, stupid white friends would come over. They would judge me so hard on like
on your house,
on the clothes and everything. And it was just like, fuck you, white people.
Yeah,
and
that's
like
rude too.
Yeah, and but that's why like I've always enjoyed and feel more comfortable in the company of people that aren't white. Because
I'm sorry you have to live with me, but
no, dude, I've known you forever, and like it's a different vibe. I'm saying like from being like looked at as like a white guy that was like didn't have so much money growing up, and then it's like who were the people that connected with more? It was the black guys that kept it real, that also were just like, hey, let's just be cool, have fun, not based on the color of our skin or what our parents do and what we have or the cars that we drive. It was just like, hey, you like this, I like this, cool. You keep it real, I keep it real, cool.
Plus I think like when you don't, like if you're middle class or like your parents tell you like don't bring up someone's house, like it's rude to like say anything like, oh, this is what you eat, or this is what your house is at one story, like don't do that. Like you just, my parents were like, don't, you know, like, you know, it's rude, like you don't want to be a jerk, like it's just weird. And it's like, it seems like everyone should know that. It's like, oh, you don't want to, like, that's rude, they're letting you stay like, wow, your house is small. It's like, fuck, get the fuck
out. Who
like,
cares?
And as a kid, I don't think you give a shit. Like I didn't care. Like nope. I was like I remember one time I was in 5th grade and like we live in like middle class neighborhood, like kind of upper middle class neighborhood. It was like, you know, considered like, it was like Green Tree in Midland. It was like, oh, you live in Green Tree, and it was kind of like the rich. I'm like, well, this is like a regular house, but it was like a nice house, you know. And then I was like spending the night at my friend's place, and it was like across town. I was like, oh damn, we are going way south, and His name, he was cool, but his dad was like a vet. And we get there, and it was like, oh, they like smoked inside. I was like, that's weird. Like, my parents would not like that. And they had like neon Budweiser signs, which I thought was the coolest. And they had them all over it. I was like, this is awesome. But they were like smoking inside, and then like they were like, we're going to 7-Eleven, and like all the kids got in the car and nobody had shoes on. I'm like, oh, we got a pair of shoes on. They're like, no, we don't. And I was like, oh, okay. And I had a blast. It was like we stayed up all night. Same thing. We just played video games and ate junk food, just like you do at my house.
Right.
And well, maybe at my house they wouldn't smoke inside and they wouldn't eat junk food. But I remember 2 kids' houses I went to. It was like they were like a little. I could tell, like, you know, I wasn't dumb. I was like 11. I was like, oh, they're definitely, their house is a little smaller than ours, and they're smoking inside, which is a no. But you know, I'm not gonna bring it up. I'm like, they're my friends. I had a great time. It's just like I was aware of it. I was like, oh damn, like.
But that's how it should be now. It's like not based on like what you have, the color of your skin, whatever. It's just like how cool are you and how real do you keep it?
Right.
It's like, can we just hang out and just do this? Or do we have to be somebody and do something and look a certain way and dress a certain way?
Talk a certain way, say
go,
a certain thing.
Right. It's like, who gives a fuck? At the end of the day, like, who cares? I hang out, anybody that is still my friends or close friends, is just because they've always been the same motherfucker through and through, no matter what color their skin. And that's what's like, I keep true. And that's when you see like-minded people where you're like...
That's like most people.
Well, some people are dicks, dude.
I just feel like most people are like that, Americans, and like I really am jealous of like my black friends because like I have a couple black friends who do not like respect gender pronouns. Not like a dick, but they're just like, it's weird that a white person's making me call them something. I think that gets to it of like, I get it, like, but it's hard for me to be like, have this white person yelling at me of like, you need to respect my pronouns and say what I want you to call me. It's like, that feels weird. Like a white person telling a black guy, you have to say what I want you to say. It's like, do I? This is America. I can say whatever I want. And they're not hateful. It's just like, I never thought of that. But I was talking to a friend and he was just like, we work with this non-binary person, which is fine. But he's like, I just can't do the they, that, like, I can't, and like I should, but I
can't either though.
And I said, why can't you? He goes, it just feels fake. I don't know. It feels like a thing you made up, and now you're making me call you this, and it's like,
dude,
having a white guy make me call you something feels like no, like,
dude, we grew up.
I'm not compelled. Like I don't want to, and I don't have to. And it's like, and if you think I'm a jerk for that, go ahead. Here's the thing, but they'll never get mad at him because now you look racist. You're like mad at the guy because he didn't say what you want to say. It's like. So he gets a pass on that because...
But the thing is, too, we went 20, 30... You
were saying when we were growing up?
Yeah, like when we were growing up, we didn't
whole
have that.
It was just, that's a boy, that's a girl.
And then all of a sudden, in the last 4 years, we have to start acknowledging
came
this
out of nowhere, yeah.
Because you're a weirdo, and you want to be called what?
And I think it is going to fall apart because it's like just not sustainable of like... And again, I don't believe in you're like, I'm so offended. Someone called me a boy. It's like, are you I mean, come on. Are you really like?
No, you're just.
How sensitive are you?
Exactly,
you're
sensitive. You're just being a little bitch.
And then like, yeah, they used to be the fun people. Like when I was in high school, the gay kids were like the punk rock kids, and they were like anarchists and like they were like wild and fun, and they like said bad jokes, and they had like raunchy takes, and they were cool and dangerous. And now they're like, you can't say that. I'm like, what happened to the cool?
Right.
You used to be badass and counterculture and. Fuck you, and like now you're just like you didn't mark the right bot. It's like who?
And that's when it comes full circle.
It's
Keep
so
it
weird.
Real.
Yeah, you became the man. Real. You used to be awesome, and now you're like, well, we have to say the right thing. And it's just like, who's this uptight asshole? Like, I work with this non-binary person, which is fine, and I keep fucking up but they. Like, my boss just made a joke. Like, they have no sense of humor because everything's so serious. They have no sense of humor. Everything's so serious with the election. And this person was like, where's Zach? And he was like, oh, Zach's late. He's kind of a piece of shit, and I hate him. That's what my manager said. He's just joking. And then the person was like, why do you hate Zach? He's a hard worker. And it's like, I was kidding. I
was kidding. It's a joke.
I'm fucking with, like, don't you... Clearly, I was just busting ball, and they're like, he contributes a lot. It's like, I know he does. That's why it's funny to say the opposite.
Right.
Are you really, like, you know a joke, right? I mean, do you have no social cue? Like, did they hard drive that part of your non-gendered brain? It's so odd. Like, clearly don't hate the person. Like, It's fun to bust balls and like, why do you hate him? It's like, I don't.
It's almost like a cult. It's like
insane.
These
it's
people
like,
have
no fun. It's not fun. They're
exactly.
Like they invited me to a party. I'm like, I don't want to go. I'm afraid I'm going to say the wrong thing. We're going to get drunk and I'm going to say something stupid and you're going to get furious. It's like I have to walk around eggshells. I can't live like this, you know?
That was the time that I was working in Seattle. Yeah, it was Washington. And this clearly a woman called. She's like, hi, my name's Elizabeth and I want a massage and blah, blah, blah. And we're like, we have to set them in the locker rooms, men or women. And so she walks in. Clearly a she, because she has boobs and, you know, her name's Elizabeth and all this. And she goes...
Was she hot?
No.
Okay. So maybe not a woman, but go on.
Like green hair, just kind of, you know,
you have to have...
Washington.
You have to have a piercing, tattoos, or
that's
colored
exactly
hair.
what
you have to have the hair.
That's exactly what it was.
Green, purple.
To a T, that's what it was.
Right.
And then we go, all right, we set you up in the women's locker room. You're in number 13. Why did you set me up in the women's locker room? Because your name's Elizabeth and you're a woman and you have tits. How dare you assume my gender by the way I look and just a phone conversation and me coming in and putting me in the women's locker room? I'm like, I'm not putting you in the fucking men's locker room. I was like, that is so
that would be better to be in the men's, or she want like a non-gendered
she would be like, why did you say that I have to be in the women's and not the men's?
So what locker room did she want to be in?
I guess the men's.
The men's?
Because why would you bring that up in the first place? Like, if any normal person would, if I walk in there like, what's up, dude? We put you in the men's. I'm like, cool, that's where I need to be because I have a swinging dick. Like, awesome. But it's like, why do you have to come in and start shit?
Because you know what I mean.
To a receptionist who is making $18 an hour to be like, hey, we just put you here. It's like, why do you have to start shit? And all these people just want to get offended and start shit, and they're just ready to just be like, what'd you say? And they're pumped up. And I'm like,
they're waiting. They're like baiting you like ooh, like, oh, and then like when you say we put you in the women's layer, like checkmate.
Yeah, yep.
Oh, it's going down like it's the worst thing they could do. Like, and it's like, let's be real.
Yeah,
you were born with a vagina.
Keep it real.
Like gun to your head.
Yeah.
You know, and it all falls away when it's like. If you went to another country, just like that Louis C.K. joke, and you're in the airport and you're like, I'm not a woman, they'd be like, get the gurney, like, get the straight jacket. Like, no, I'm a woman. Like, they're like, oh, this is an insane person. You clearly are confused. Like, yeah, and it's just like everybody, I think America, we've got it too good because everybody, like, yeah, you see a dude with like a beard and a dress and eyeliner and his stomach hanging out, he's all hairy, and he's like, he wants to be respected sexually and get a mate and all this. It's like, yeah, but you're trying to get you want to wear a dress and you want the whole pie. You can't just pick like a lane, and now you're everything and you want everyone to like, but it's like, that's not, I don't know who you're made for. Are you made for gay dudes or straight or women this is another one. I was at my restaurant and I saw this couple come in. This girl was like hot. Like she was like a hipster, but she was like really hot. And like she was with a dude with like he was dressed exactly like her, like a halter top, crop top with the belly showing, tight disco like bell bottoms, with big clogs, and like he had lipstick and eyeliner on. And I was like, oh, that's her like gay friend or non-binary friend or trans friend, you know, that they're just getting dinner. And I was like, cool, that's fine. I don't give a shit. And then they start like making out. I'm like, oh, this is her boyfriend, and he's fucking her with his non-binary dick and like with their dick. And it's like, come on, like, and is that, I guess she's into that, like feminine, but then you think, why don't you just date a lesbian? Like if you like a guy that basically looks like a hot, like a lesbian. But I'm like, hey, I don't give a shit. Like, hey, but it's just, it kind of, I was like, huh, because it's just like, oh, I clearly was wrong, but like, but then I feel like he's disingenuous because he's like a wolf. I don't know. I feel like, did you always dress like that? Or do you see this girl that like guys like that and you're like, I'm going to fit that mold?
Or is he just like a simp fuck where it's just like,
or she said, I want you to dress. I don't know.
Exactly.
It's just, it was like, but he was like clearly like, oh, you're just a dude. Like the dress is like, but it's like, is it your, and then, but what, you're still fucking a lady, but you probably don't want to be called a man, but you're just dicking down this hot girl. So I'm like, bro, give me some skin. He'd be like, bro. I'm like, yeah, dude, come on, look at you. And he'd be like, excuse me, I am not a man. It's like, wow, you're fucking hot chick and you got a dick. And I remember I was at a club too, and oh man, it was like a couple summers ago, and It was downtown, and it was like an inclusive club, like LGBTQ safe space, which ironically are usually the clubs where you get assaulted the most. I've been assaulted there by just grabbed and stuff, but fuck me, I'm a straight white guy. I guess you can do that to me. I deserve it, probably. Probably had it coming, but I was, historically. Anyway, so I go there. I used to go there a lot. I don't really as much anymore. But on Sundays they would have 80s night, and if you know the math, you know what club I'm talking about. Anyway, so there's this. It's usually like a lot of non-binary people, trans people, they, them's, goth, which is cool. I like it. They're my friends, But now I started going there 20 years ago, and it's more like just, I don't know, chicks and dudes on Sundays. Now it's like you can't really find a dude or a chick, which is cool. I don't care. But this really hot chick came in, sitting alone, gorgeous. You don't get a lot of those at this club. It's like, wow, just a hot broad with like a little pencil skirt on, a little sleeveless top. So I'm like, I'm going to go talk to her. Right when I'm about to go talk to her, a guy comes in and he's like, hi, may I sit here? And she's like, cool. He's like, hi, I'm Greg. And he's got eyeliner on, and he's kind of effeminate. Eyeliner on, his hair's all poofy, and he like shakes her hand. He's got his fingernails painted, and he kind of shakes her hand like charmed. Like he's the lady, like she has a firm grip, and he's like, oh yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, she's going to talk to this gay dude or whatever, and then I'll get in there. And then he's like talking to her, and I'm like, okay, well, and then she goes in. He's like, I'll go with you. And he's like, want to do a shot? He's like, want to do a shot? I shouldn't say he. I don't know if it was a man, but, I'm going to say, for now, I'm going to say he. A male, biological male. Anyway, and she's like, okay. And she hasn't really seemed that into him. So they do a shot, and then she's like dancing on the dance floor, and he's kind of sitting on the side of the floor. And I'm like, now's my chance. And I try to get in there, and he just comes up and starts blocking me with every dance move. He's like, just every move is like I know what he's doing. It's classic clock block, and I'm trying to get in there, and he keeps like, and she's moving around the dance floor away from him, and he keeps following her like orbiting her like she's a sun, he's a planet, and so I can't. He keeps blocking me. I can't get in there. And then they get another drink, and they come back, and she's like she keeps leaving to dance and leaving to get drinks, and he keeps following her, and I'm like, I got to find a way to get in there, and. By the end of the night, I'm having a cigarette, and I come back in, and they're making out.
Weird.
And I'm like, this...
That's weird.
Ooh, and I was like, maybe I was just jealous. I was just jealous, because it's like, hey, good for you, player. But you're presenting yourself. He never said he was straight. He never said he wasn't. He never said he was... He just played this line of like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. Let's do shots. It'll be fun. And, and then by the end of the night, he's like Barry White, like, what are we doing, babe? Where are we going? Like, he completely code switched from like a non-binary, effeminate guy. Like, I don't know. I love this club. I love getting crazy. And then by the end of the night, he's just like, are we fucking? Like, what's going, like, making moves aggressive? I'm like, oh, you are a man. Like, you're clearly a man. Like, you're just, whoa. But you're playing this game of like, I'll dress this way. I'll put on eyeliner. I'll put on fingernail polish, which is cool, but it's like you're presenting yourself as not straight or not a threat, which you are probably. But I don't know. It kind of irks me. It's like you know what you're doing. You're playing this thing of like, maybe I'm gay, maybe not. Who knows? But you're trying to fuck. It's like, just be honest about it. Just stop hiding behind these like clearly decoys, or I don't know. Have the balls to be like, yeah, I want to hit on you. I don't know. Don't try to ingratiate yourself with this stuff. Anyway,
how can you switch? Like, how can you flip that switch and be like, you know what, today I'm this. And then it's like, oh, hey, this. And then it's like, now I'm like, hey, what's happening?
Maybe he's just a cool metro guy. Like, maybe he's just cool guy with eyeliner, like, and fingernail. But he just seemed very much lenient to being like, I'm just an effeminate dude. Like, I just want to dance and have shots. I'm not going to try to fuck you. It really felt, and then it was like, then he started touching her leg. And he kind of just wore her down, I guess, because she seemed like not that into it. And he kind of just did that guy thing of like, I don't know, just dance and then she's like, well, this is the only guy talking to me because he just monopolized her. And I just, I wish I could have, but you know what? Hey, I don't hate. I'm mad at myself that I didn't go up earlier and like be like, I think you want to do a shot with me, but I would just not try to. I don't know. It felt like he was leaning into this persona of like, I'm not a threat. I'm not trying to fuck. I just want to have fun, and I respect. It's what simps do. It's simp behavior, right?
That's it.
You're sympathetic male. You're trying to sympathize, be overly sympathetic, and most women hate that. And usually, they can see right through it. They're like, I know what you're doing. Like,
well, it was like that study. She was a lady doctor too, of saying like women what they prefer on birth control to compare when they get off of birth control too. It's just
when they're off birth control, they're like, I want a big, sweaty, stinky.
Right, you want a lumberjack man, But then when you're on it, you want this submissive, weird.
It's like, honey, did you pack Caden's kale chips? And she's like, yes. Okay, because, he's allergic to the gluten one, so just make sure. And you're like, God, this guy.
Yeah.
But that's what they want, because it's like, what, more feminine? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, they want someone that doesn't question them.
And it's more of a financial provider, maybe not as masculine, but more stable.
Right.
Because they're going to have a kid.
Right.
Because their body thinks they're
And then
pregnant.
she goes fucks her personal trainer, who's built like 6'3", 220, and like,
who's ginger, kind of bald, with glasses, tattoo right here.
Yeah.
Hypothetically, this trainer, who isn't me. Yeah.
No, but that's it's the world we live in. It's fucking nuts. And this is
truths we hold self-evident.
This is a full circle of why don't you want kids? Right there.
Right in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Boop.
This is it.
Yeah, and it is that thing of like, you think like when we were growing up or 40 years ago, 20 years ago, if you had to like explain this in school, they'd be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
well, there's
weird.
several genders and there's not just gay and straight. There's people that are sexual, non-binary, and they'd be like, even when I was in school, they'd be like, I don't think, because we know, like, again, just like democracy with the election, like people are like, democracy died today. It's like, no, this is democracy. Americans voted for the guy that the corporations didn't want. That's what democracy is. That's how you know it actually is democracy, because a lot of people didn't want to win and he did. That's democracy. And then they're like, yeah, like, even like, yeah, we all, it's self-evident. Like, yeah, the people voted this with this. And just like gender, it's like, it is self-evident. You're born with these genitalia, and it's like, I hate it, but it's like, or I don't like the genitalia I'm born. It's like, that's the hand you're dealt. It's not fair. You should be able to be a woman if you want to be. You should be able to be a man. I wish we could just flip a switch and you could just do that and feel right. That would be great. But you live in a finite physical reality and you can't escape it, and it stinks and it's not fair. But you know what? And here's another thing. Again, this is probably played out, but it's like there used to be this thing of like, accept your body. Even now, fat, accept your body, accept the way you are. You're beautiful the way you are. And then it's like, unless you're trans, then cut it all up. It's like, wait a minute. I thought you said I'm beautiful no matter what. And it's like, yeah, you're beautiful. You don't have to change your body. You can go to Planet Fitness, be a fat sack of shit, and it's perfect. Yeah, and you're great. But then it's like, oh, unless you're trans, then change everything about your body. It's not perfect. It's not beautiful. Like, but again, if that's your prerogative, you're an American, and if you're an adult, hack away, On that, hey, wow. Well, this might be our last episode. The levels are better. I feel like it sounds better.
We went deep on this one.
I again, like, I'm all about, like, I'm pretty liberal. I'm like, I just feel like, again, I'm a complex flower.
Yeah, you are. Oh, God,
I'm
you
a
are.
complex snowflake. They're all different, and I feel like we got to be honest about, like, I'd rather, you can disagree with me, but it's like, I'm just being the way I feel. And again, I think everybody should be respected and have freedoms. And I think women should have abortions if they want them. Kill all the babies you want. I don't give a fuck. Kill them all. I hate kids. Get them all out. Get them out of here. Just throw them away. Just dump them in the ocean. Throw them on that trash pile that's floating around. Yeah. And then if you want to be trans, I don't give a fuck. But don't lie to me and say,
yeah, and don't
tell me the sky. Don't tell me.
And don't be getting on these dating apps, tricking Matt, thinking that you.
I did get tricked. I was getting in a conversation. She said woman. She didn't say trans woman. No, like, little flag thing, like a wink to the. No. I should have picked, because she was very hot, and I'm like, she's really into me, and I should have kept it going. I should have probably gone out, but No. And then she was like, we're talking, and she's like, also, I'm a trans woman. I'm like, you should have led with that, because now I feel like, what else? Now I just feel like you're lying to me, because you lie. You didn't lie, but you didn't tell the truth. You omitted, and that's like, no, you said I'm a woman, and when I see that woman, I'm like, oh, biological. And usually you can tell, just like certain characteristics, you can tell right away, like, oh, you're trans. But this one was,
was she Asian?
Something similar, not like Hispanic, but look great. And now I'm thinking maybe I should have just, Callie's like,
she's like,
Callie's a transphobe. She's like, I'm out of here. No, but like, I'm more like, I wish you were just honest with me. Now I feel like a jerk if I unmatched you. I did unmatch, but like, I was just like, let me just fucking. I was like, oh, cool. I was like, let me find that button. Yeah. But I it's not because I hate you. It's because that's just not my preference. Isn't trans women. I don't hate trans women. I just prefer a biological vagina. That's all. I mean, it's not like I'm hateful. I just want what I want.
Yeah.
You know? I'll date any race of woman as long as you got a real vagina. I mean,
yeah,
biological vagina.
You don't discriminate.
I don't.
You're all
I
over
regulate
the place.
every shade of that ass. I'm just like Big Pun.
Yeah.
I don't discriminate. I regulate it.
I like Big Pun.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Why do you have to get so big? Why couldn't he just be Pun? You know? Why do you have to be Big Pun? Why'd you call it? Now you got to live up to the name, Fat Joe.
Dude,
You can't lose weight. That's your whole brand.
Big Pun was huge.
Yeah, he got huge in the last years of his life, right? Because he wasn't that big most of his life, and then he blew up.
His shirt was like the Puerto Rican flag. It was just like,
Wow. Yeah. He just wore the Puerto Rican flag every day. Wrap me in the flag. Fat Joe, get my flag. He's like, Pun, you crazy.
Pun, you
this is
silly.
a problem, Big Pun. You're going to be dead in the middle of Little Italy, Little we know the diddle bit. I wish I could do that freestyle so bad. Dead in the middle of Little Italy, Little we know the middlemen didn't know diddle. God, that's such a... Yeah. Ready for war, Joe, but my brother from another mother. Oh, so cool.
That's right.
That song bothers me, though, because they're both Puerto Rican. They drop N-bombs hard.
I think they get a pass.
But they're like white. They're like... Dude, I saw this Puerto Rican guy at 7-Eleven once just talking to the cashier who was an older black guy, just dropping ends, and he was this huge Jack Puerto Rican guy. I was like, what are you doing? You're whiter than me. It was awkward. But culturally, I feel like they think they can say it. That's a weird one. Puerto Rico, just cut it out. Yeah. All right? You're not black. You never will be. Everybody wants to be black. You didn't earn it. Stop trying to be black if you're not black. It's weird. And everyone sees what you're doing. Unless you actually kill people or you're like Seth and you're just really good at basketball, then it's okay. But don't. Just be yourself, play. Don't try to... It's like everybody wants to be black. We all wish we were cool black guys. I get it. You can't be. You can't all be women. We can't all be cool black dudes. I know if we could all just be the ladies we want to be. We could all be Jack Black dudes. I wish that was the whole nation, then Kama would be president. But we live in reality, and it stinks, but it's getting better because we finally got the real president back, who technically, if he said he didn't win the last election, he shouldn't be able to be president because he already said he was president twice, so... Suck on that.
I think that's good. I think we did it.
Yeah, we got to cut. We're going to be doing this. It'll be a 10-hour podcast. Yeah. Just going to cycle back to just trans politics, health. Anyway.
Yeah, black people are awesome. Here we go.
They are. Anyway, everybody rules. I love everyone. I don't hate anybody.
No.
Just figure out what you are. No,
just don't be sensitive.
Don't be sensitive. Yeah, just be like...
Be you.
Cool about it. And everybody would like you more, play. Come on. Come on, y'all.
All right. I'm hot.
I'm tired. Coffee breath. The podcast that is, I don't know. It's, is it better than Nice Little Chat? It's different.
It's different. Because it's not so much comedy, it's more real.
It's more like just issues.
That's right.
And then we just end up being funny. We're like, ooh, okay. Anyway, we'll cut it off. Callie's tired. Callie, you gonna say bye? Callie,
meow.
Callie, you want some treats? You want some treats? You want a little food? All right. Bye.